Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is the Ready, Set, Go preview show, but you would not know that because there's no branding. There's no branding up there. Why? Because something is going on with the interface where none of my branding is actually showing up, but we are not going to let that stop us. I want to welcome all of you to the Ready, Set, Go preview show. This is the show that I do every single week, mostly on Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. And I've been doing it for, 57 some odd weeks. And many of you have actually been here, been part of these interactions every single week. And I want to thank you guys for that. If this is your first time watching the show, I definitely want to encourage you to hit the subscription button, turn on notifications so that you can stay abreast of all the content that I release from the channel. And it also makes you eligible for the various giveaways that I do here on the channel. We do at least one giveaway every single week for the last 50 some odd weeks we've been doing it. Thanks to our sponsor, Go Collect. Huge shout out to those guys for putting us in a position to be able to give away some really cool books. And this is the cool book that we're going to be giving away in just a little bit. This is Store 337, the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill. And then we also have another cool book that is sitting off to my right below that book that you definitely want to stay tuned for. So we do this show every single week. I give you a heads up on the content that is going to be coming out from the channel over the course of the week. We also talk about some news and some current events, and we just generally have a good time. So before we get going, I want to say hello to some comic book soldiers that have joined me here in the room. And we're going to run through this. Albert is in the house. L. Smith is here. Chris, Tina's in the house. Chris Bigger, Johnny Future's here. Cool and Collected is in the house. Scrolling down through the names. Hero and the Kid. First time seeing you here. Welcome to the live stream. Brian is also here. It's good to see you. Jovi is in the house. Coms is here. Let me scroll down through the names. Let's see what else. She Spawn is in the house. She Spawn. It is always good to see you, my friend. Thank you for that. Awesome. AOK. B Comics is in the house. Scrolling down, Comic Mike is also here. All right. So welcome to everybody that is joining me here in the live stream here on YouTube. I definitely appreciate you guys taking the time. So some of you may have actually seen that the description of this video actually changed. It changed moments ago because right before I like to go live, I like to somehow release to you guys what the topic is actually going to be if I have one. And tonight's topic is really around the Valiant movie that dropped this weekend. Bloodshot from Vin Diesel dropped. And I'm going to tell you, I am a fan of Vin Diesel. And I'm not a fan of his because of the Fast and Furious. I think that's a great series, but that's not my thing. My jam was Riddick with the necromancers. I love that. Pitch Black. I love that. That was the kind of stuff that is Vin Diesel to me. Triple X. I enjoyed that as well. But Vin Diesel this weekend hit the box office with Valiant, where he basically portrayed Bloodshot. And so I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to see the movie, but a lot of interesting comments online about Bloodshot this weekend. So I want to spend a couple of moments talking about that before we get to some of the other activities in the show here. And so great shot of Vin Diesel here in the movie, but the movie actually opened amid a whole lot of stuff, as you guys know, right? With the coronavirus and everything that is happening, I am hearing that bars and restaurants are being shut down in Illinois, in Ohio, and also some places down south. And so this movie actually opened at a less than ideal time. But Sony's Bloodshot wasn't expected to break it big and yet open slightly below even pessimistic expectations is what Forbes is actually saying. They go on to talk about lousy movie reviews and Vin Diesel's poor track record outside of the Fast and Furious. But you know, here's the thing: the Fast and Furious is a large franchise that is like on movie 9 or something like that. So excluding your 9 successful large box office films, you suck. That's basically what Forbes is saying. But anyway, Deadpool actually opened up at $9.3 million domestically And what's interesting, I think, is that Sony was actually shooting for about 10 million. So they were slightly below where Sony actually projected them to be, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. And I've heard some people have actually walked out of the movie theater on Bloodshot saying that it wasn't a very good movie. But again, amid everything that is actually happening now, where people are literally fighting for supplies in grocery stores, and events are being canceled, and people cannot assemble in large groups, for this movie to actually open up on a weekend such as this and actually do $9.3 million, especially as AMC theaters have actually, I believe, cut their theaters in by about 50%. Other movie theaters are closing. I don't think that $9.3 million is all that bad. So let me see what you guys are talking about here. Let me scroll down through some of the comments here. I'm surprised they had that many people show up. I mean, that's legit, man. Connie says Riddick series and Pitch Black. Man, Pitch Black was fantastic. I love that series. And I don't even know if they expected it to be as big of a hit that it was, because there felt like there was like a couple of years gap between the movies. But I enjoyed Riddick. I enjoyed Pitch Black. I thought it was a blast. I would love to see it. I would love to have seen multiple movies in a row, but I don't know that they planned for that, but I definitely enjoyed it. So bad time. Who is this? Says, what is this? I might watch Bloodshot. Oh man, I lost it. Even my barber is struggling, said Johnny Future. I might watch Bloodshot at the drive-in movie theater, right? Where you can stay in the safety of your own car, right? With nobody around, you can stay in the safety of the car. It's not a bad way to go. Scrolling down, oh my goodness, Vin Diesel, the only one sitting at home like, thank God for coronavirus. Now they won't play my acting. Oh my goodness, you are funny. You are funny. Scrolling down through some of the comments here. What else are you guys talking about? What is this? Allison says, I'm in one of the PA counties where all theaters were ordered to close for 2 weeks, as well as the entertainment venues and now restaurant bars. Exactly. Non-essential retail. A lot of stuff is closing down, man. I have family all across the country, and I've been hearing from people that things are honestly being shut down, which is crazy, right? Sean saying, I heard Texas schools may be shutting down until the end of the year. I mean, that's just Texas for you. They're like, forget about it. Forget about it. Just, don't even worry about it. But again, I don't think that $9.3 million is all that bad. And I actually pulled this data. I want to say it's probably in several hours since I pulled this data. The numbers may be a little bit higher. I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. But what was interesting is I actually pulled up a couple of different sources of information, because I wanted to see what people were talking about. And it was interesting here that CBR.com actually said that Bloodshot misfired. They said that it misfired because it only made $9.3 million. And I think they highlighted here that part of the reason why it failed somewhat is, I think that the movie actually cost, let me go back to my other source. I think the movie cost like 40 million or something like that. I mean, that's a nice chunk of change. I can't find it right now, but I want to say that the movie was really, really expensive. But they highlight here on CBR.com that Bloodshot is not the only film suffering at the domestic box office. All movies playing this weekend took a combined total of just $54.4 million. All movies this weekend brought in $54.4 million domestically, a 21-year low for domestic box offices. And so, which is crazy. And this is where I was citing that AMC theaters have actually reduced their capacity in some cases by up to 50%. So it was definitely a very, very rough weekend for movies. No doubt about it. I don't know if you can, again, $9.3 million is not a bad amount of money for a movie to make in light of what is actually happening here. And actually, I just found the resource. It says the problem is that a $9.3 billion launch is still a lousy debut for a $42 million budget movie, which is a tremendous amount of money. That is a lot of money. There is no doubt about that. That is a lot of money. And so I guess, many expected the movie to do a lot better. Sony signaled a month ago, hey, we're going to make about 10 million. Lo and behold, they made about $10 million. But again, I don't know if that's a bad amount in light of everything that's happening. Had it not been for coronavirus, I might be like, you know what? Bloodshot was DOA, but I honestly don't know. Tony, how you doing? Welcome. Joseph says, sorry, I'm late. Brother, you cannot be late for a live stream, my friend. So what's interesting though, I will tell you this, here is one of the provocative questions. As you guys, I don't know if you can see it. I have the Bloodshot #1 back there, the chromium cover, the very first chromium cover in the industry. That's the Barry Windsor Smith cover back there. I have 4 copies of that back there looking over my shoulder. But one of the provocative questions that I'm kind of asking myself, and have been since I first heard about the Deadpool movie, is what might the future hold for the Valiant universe, right? The Valiant cinematic universe. What might the future hold? My theory has always been, if Bloodshot does really well, then they might green light additional movies from Valiant, right? Because the truth of the matter is that Valiant actually has, according to my research months ago, a 5 movie deal, right? Valiant has a 5 movie deal, the first of which is Bloodshot. And the question becomes, is this $9.3 million good or bad enough to stop or enable those other 4 movies to be made? That is the question, right? And we don't really know. We don't really know whether the 9.3 million is enough, right? Because of all the extenuating circumstances, I don't know, right? Because here's the thing. Let's say that they do greenlight the other 4 movies. If they greenlight the other 4 movies, then the question becomes, where is the blue ocean for Valiant? Where is it, right? Is it the pre-reboot and, the sale and reboot of the company, right? Or is it all of the original stuff that was done back in the 90s? And so my head tells me that it's more of the 90s stuff. Also, the bins in this room say that it's the 90s stuff, but who knows? Who knows which one it's going to be? Because if they decide to pull the trigger and start making movies, there are a couple of characters or casts of characters that might bubble to the surface, and that could potentially be some blue ocean territory. So let me scroll through the comments here. See, love Ninjak. Man, they will probably make a Ninjak movie, right? I think that I've heard rumor that there is something related to Ninjak out there, but I don't know. I really don't know. Bloodshot should just be sent. I mean, here's the thing, bro. That might actually be the move, right? That might actually, and hey, in light of everything that's happening, while you're sitting at the house, here is a new movie for you to check out. I mean, I don't know, because I don't think that people are going to be going to movie theaters, right? And so the question becomes, is that something realistic? Jason's like, everybody should go see Bloodshot. Let me scroll through to the comments here, see what else you guys are talking about. Bloodshot should be re-released later in the year, says Matthew, scrolling through the comments here. What is this? So Lord of Silver Fountain says 10 million is not great because opening weekend is usually the weekend where a movie makes most of its money. Every weekend after that, it's just a downhill. That's true. But when was the last major pandemic that actually did what COVID-19 is actually doing, right? So I don't know if we can just say that because history dictates that this is a predictor of the future, right? I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm trying to give a counterpoint to what it is that you're saying, because I don't know, like with H1N1, I don't remember people saying to social distance, right? With the pandemic of HIV, I don't know that they said they might have said social distancing, but whatever. I don't know if we can just say, because historically there is a downward fall, if you will, in ticket sales related to a movie once it's released, that is always going to be the case. When you've never really encountered something of this sort, I don't know if that necessarily holds true. So that is something, again, to kind of throw out there for us to consider. Wilson says, I hope it's the 90s stuff since I do have boxes. bro. Four of them back there. Four of them back there. At least one of them is a 9.8. At least one. I think it's the one on the furthest left over here. I think that's a 9.8. I like to see some Shadow Man. I'm gonna tell you, I went out when I originally had, this epiphany, right? I actually was able to went out to try to find a lot of those major keys from Valiant, right? So I actually have probably a 3/4 of a short box full of just Valiant books, right? I had a lot from my childhood because I was back in the 90s. I was buying Image and Valiant, Marvel, right? I was buying all that stuff, but there were some books that I did not pick up. And so I went out and actually tried to pick those books up because, again, I try to play the blue ocean, right? I try to play in the blue ocean and pick these things up before they actually become red ocean types of things. So scrolling down through some of the comments here, I'm going to need HIV is literally a pandemic, right? Because I've had people say to me that we have not seen a pandemic in the last 30 years, and that's actually incorrect. There have actually been at least 2 pandemics that we have seen in the last 30 years. That being HIV was classified as a pandemic by the CDC, and also H1N1 was also classified as a pandemic. We'll have to see how Bloodshot does with the international box office as well. Bloodshot could get cult film status. The challenge, man, is that even the international market might not save it, right? And I'm saying that after having seen images and video of like what's happening in like China, where they basically shut stuff down. They are literally flying drones in China with bleach and water solutions spraying the air. They are spraying buildings. They are literally walking around with power washers, power washing the streets and the sidewalks and the benches and everything else, right? So I don't think that in this case, the international market is actually going to be able to save this movie because the international market is not there. Things internationally are shutting down, right? And I don't know, because historically, I would say, yeah, the international market's going to be huge, right? I don't know about this one. I really don't know about this one. I think that what we are seeing right now is something that we haven't seen. And so I don't know that we can know what to expect. I think that there are potentially going to be some surprises. But I think it was the Liger King that was like, hey, release it to Netflix. Right? Crazy circumstances call for different approaches, right? And that could be the way to go. So scrolling down through the comments here, yeah, Almighty Liger King, international scene is on lockdown. No way. Yeah, exactly. It's tough. It really is tough because I just don't think that the international market is actually going to be there. So scrolling through the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. What is that? So what is this? Reggie, my local comic shop did not get a shipment this week. And the owner said that this week, wow, that's tough. That's tough. Thankfully, my comic shops in my area actually did get their shipments. What was cool is that Crush Comics, one of the comic shops that I go to, they actually had curbside pickup. The shop owner literally walked the stuff out to me, which was cool because my wife wasn't feeling well yesterday. And so I basically watched the kids all day. And so to get them out of the house, I threw them in the car and we went and got gas for the car, and I dropped some stuff off at the post office. And then I drove by the comic shop and rolled by. My man ran out, handed me my books, and off we went. So yeah. Hopefully some things turn around for these shop owners, man, because if they don't get the books, it can be tough. If they get the books, they can do things like what my shop has done, which is to walk books out to folks to give them a little bit of protection. Oh man. Let me scroll down through the comments here. So Bearded Comic Collector, my man Jerry says, I live in the high desert in California with 0 reported cases. Our people are acting so crazy where the shelves in the stores are empty. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. Here you go. Yeah. Johnny Future says same here. Yeah, this my shop, one of my shops, right? I should probably say, they actually were like, hey, if you live in the local Castro Valley area, we will hand deliver to your house. And so I think Another shop was actually doing deliveries as well, but I needed to get out of the house for a little while. I packed the kids up, gave them some iPads, and we just kind of drove around for just a little bit. Nice way to kind of mix things up a little bit. So let me scroll down through the comments here. What is this? Brian is saying they may do an extended show schedule or re-release to give opportunity for national. That could be the move. That could be the move right there. That could be what they end up doing, because this is a very, very different situation. So they could actually do something like that. So man, here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. They carry my books out to me. They're already like bagged and boarded for a small fee, you know. Yeah, I get the great treatment. Yeah, I still have to pay for my stuff. Oh my goodness. A lot of schools and stuff like that closing. So again, you know, I think that definitely some extenuating circumstances happening here with what is happening. You know, when the entire weekend's tally of the box office totals what some movies have actually made in a weekend, you know that things are a little tough, right? 54.4 million, a 21-year low for the domestic box office. That's some crazy stuff right there. No doubt about that one. So again, I've heard that the movie was good. I've heard that the movie was bad. I don't know. At some point, I'll probably see the movie as well. So brother, I am not balling that much. Comics with Bueller. I am not balling that much if I still have to pay. No, I still buy all my stuff. I think that it's important to do that kind of stuff to support these shop owners. But if they gave me a freebie, I'd certainly take it. All right, so let's get to some other things. So I want to give you guys an idea of some of the content that is going to be coming out from the channel over the course of this week. I'm going to be honest with you. I may actually be going live several times this week. There's somebody that wanted to do an interview with me weeks and weeks ago, and I could not do it. I may actually reach out to that person and try to do it, because I may have some free time on my hands. So I may be going live a little bit more, and I may try to fulfill one of these interview requests. Unfortunately, the person actually interviewed Comics with Bueller first. And so now I feel like the show went downhill when I saw that interview. So I'm not quite certain if I actually want to participate, but you know, I want to help the community out. Maybe I can raise the standard. So maybe I will participate. So I'll give you guys some idea of some of the content that is going to be coming out from the channel this week. I am actually going to be releasing a video, and I do not remember what this video is about. I'll be honest with you. I need to go back and watch it. Because I cannot remember, but I gave it a very provocative title. Revenge on Those Who Made Me Feel Stupid. I probably filmed this one a month ago, and for the life of me cannot remember what it was actually about. But Revenge on Those Who Made Me Feel Stupid is one of the videos that will be coming out this week. There's going to be a poo-poo platter video. If you guys don't know what a poo-poo platter is, it's basically, it's an amalgamation of stuff that you put together. So one of those videos is going to be coming out. I have one called The Thrill of the Hunt. You guys know I'm a huge fan of comic book hunting, hence the comic book soldier stuff. And so I have a video coming out that's actually going to be talking about the thrill of the hunt. And then I have another video this week that is going to be the best grading company, talking about which is the best grading company. So that is a video that will be coming out. So there's 4 videos that are going to be dropping this week. All of the videos Monday through Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. Those videos are going to be dropping. And then I'm also releasing a podcast. One podcast will be released on Monday at 7 a.m. Pacific time. And I want to say it's the roll call. I think I'm actually releasing episode 2 of the roll call. I filmed 2 so far. I released the roll call 2 episode on, I think it was Friday. But because it was related to the coronavirus, I feel like I want to get that one out on the podcast because it's so timely. So I want to release that one. And then at a later date, maybe next week, I'll release roll call number 1. And so you're definitely going to hear those differently if you are on the podcast, just because it makes sense to prioritize it in that order. So those are the videos and a podcast that are going to be released this week. I hope you guys will actually stay tuned to check those out. So what is this? Hero and the Kid says, get ready for the heat. So here's the thing, brother. Uh, stay tuned for the video. Let's just put it that way. Stay tuned for the video. Let me see what else you guys are talking about. Poo poo. No, it's P-U-P-U. Poo poo plat, not poo. Not poo. You made me pop my mic. No poo. Okay. It's poo poo. P-U. P-U. That's how you. Tina got it right. Matthew did not get it right. All right. So those are the videos that are going to be dropping this week. And like I said, I may be going live a couple of times this week just because I'm going to have a little bit of free time on my hands. So definitely stay tuned for that. If you guys are interested in that stuff, I may actually try to go live during the daytime because I know there's a lot of people in like the UK and Australia and in other countries that are disadvantaged because of the time difference. And so I may be trying to go live at different times in order to give different international viewers an opportunity to participate in some of the live streams because we do have so much fun here. So what is this? A random question. Have you ever made a video on how to how to do photography for Instagram? No, I've never done that. Honestly, I'm a guy, man. I point the camera and I take the picture and then I post that up. So what I will tell you is that on iPhones, if you have an iPhone actually has a setting within the camera feature that allows you to set things to square. If you set your camera to square, the dimensions of that square are basically the size of the Instagram window. And so if you take multiple photos using your camera function set to square, it will be a perfect size for you to actually pull it into Instagram. If you take it with the regular camera, then you may have to resize some things, right? The dimensions are, I think, a little bit taller versus it being a perfect square for Instagram. So that's like the best tip that I can offer you. There are other people that are much more creative than I that will play with filters and all that kind of stuff. I honestly point the camera, I set up my stuff, I point the camera, I take the photo, I post it. That is that is my style. That's how I get it done. But Leonard, if you want to talk more about it, man, if you reach out to me on Instagram, I can definitely give you a little bit more guidance because maybe there's some nuance to your question that I'm not necessarily getting. So feel free to reach out to me, brother, and I will help you as best I can. All right. So let's go ahead and get to tonight's giveaway. This is the book that we are going to be giving away tonight. It is Thor 337 and 9.6. This is the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill. And I think we definitely hit on one here because I think that this is one of the larger giveaways that we have done in recent months. So I think I definitely hit on something with this particular book. And so let's go ahead and share the screen. We're going to roll the dice and then we're going to figure out how many times we are going to randomize this list. But before I get to that, let me actually show you guys the list. This is the list of all the individuals that were able to successfully find the video containing the phrase. They were able to find the post on the community tab and were able to click that and enter in all their information. One of the things that I will tell you is that the post for the giveaway gets posted every Sunday night. Every Sunday night, it goes up as soon as this live stream is over. And so if you ever go to the community tab and you are unable to find the post, what you want to do is scroll down the page. If you scroll down the page, you will find the post because it goes up every single night on Sunday, and I have not missed one, I don't think, in about 30 weeks. So just rest assured that that is there. You know what's going to happen. Next week, I'm going to mess up. Next week, I'm going to mess up. But those are all the individuals that were able to successfully enter this week's giveaway. So shout out to all of those individuals that were able to do it. So let's go ahead. We're going to randomize these dice, and then we are going to scramble this list and figure out how many times we have to roll this thing. So that is 5. We came up with the number 5 and make that big so people can see it 5 times. We are going to go ahead and randomize this thing and give away a really cool book to someone. And just remember to be in the running for this thing, you have to be a subscriber of the channel. So that is 1. It's the first time. Here is 2. Here is 3. Here is 4. And the winner of this week's Go Collect giveaway is Andrew, to make sure that was 5. Andrew, you are the winner of this week's Go Collects giveaway. Let me make that thing. Yep, it is big. So Andrew, you are the winner. Andrew K, you are the winner. Robert is in second place. Rush, my Canadian brother, is in third place. Sean is in fourth. And then Quest Dog is fifth. Those are the top 5. Andrew, congratulations. You have 1 week to reach out to me to claim your prize of a really, really cool book. So congratulations to you. And just as a reminder, what you want to do, Andrew, when you send me that email is you want to give me your screen name, your government name, which in this case appeared to be the same thing, your mailing address, so that I can send all this stuff out to you, which will be this book, Thor 337, the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill, an exclusive variant from Go Collect. And then in that email, I also need to know your shirt size, because I have awesome shirts from Go Collect. These shirts come in 2 colors, light gray, they come in a dark gray, and they come in large and extra large. Those are the only 2 sizes that I have. So Andrew, in that email, make sure you provide me with all the information that I need, and I will get this mailed out to you in a timely fashion, barring any kind of COVID-19 related emergencies. I will get this stuff sent out to you. And yeah, it's a cool book. I think it was a cool book. How many people did we have in that giveaway? Let me scroll down. I don't think I actually paid attention to the number. 288. 288 is the number of people that actually entered this week's giveaway, which I think is a pretty high number for us. So I actually want to get set up because I want to show you guys the next book for this upcoming week's giveaway. And if you guys have things that you want to talk about, hang around for a little bit. I will definitely stay around for a little while. Maybe we can get into a conversation around some things. Just remember that it helps me if you throw your comments up in all caps so that I can actually read them. All right. So if you guys are ready to see this week's book, here it is. It is a magazine style. This is Creepy #1, a 7.0 with off-white pages. This thing is massive. This is Creepy #1 from Warren Publishing. This is a really, really nice book. I think it has a Frank Frazetta. Yeah, Frank Frazetta is also in this book, but it is a massive. This is a massive magazine. So you can see here the size of a regular comic book versus this magazine style. This thing is massive and it is gorgeous. Really, really nice yellow cover. So this is going to be this week's Go Collect giveaway. So I actually want to share my screen with you guys one more time because I want to head over to Go Collect to show you guys the FMV associated with this book. Let me do this real quick. So you should be able to see that right now and make that bigger so you can actually see it. But this is the Go Collect interface. I've already typed in Creepy #1. I'm going to go ahead and click that button. And this is a 7.0. So I'm going to scroll down here. You can see that the FMV for this book is $160 right there. 14 sales. I am not signed in. Let me do that real quick. So sign myself in here. Type that in one more time. Creepy #1, do that search one more time, pull it up here. So that was a 7.0. Let's check this one out. $160. You can see some of the most recent prices, $180, $208, 105, 107, kind of down back in 2018. You can see it was down to 107. So definitely within the range, right? Because we try to keep the Go Collect giveaway somewhere between $150 and $250. So right now we are at about $160 for this 7.0, which includes some Frank Frazetta art. So there you go. That is this week's Go Collect giveaway. So again, the way that you guys win is that you watch the videos that come out over the course of the week. And in one of those videos, I will give you a phrase. When you find that video and you find that phrase, you head over to the community tab, you type in, you find the post right on the community tab, you click the link for MailChimp, you go to MailChimp, and then you plug in 3 pieces of information. 2 pieces of information are relevant to you. And then one of them is the phrase that I would have given you in the video. You plug all of that information in, and then you tune in to the Ready, Set, Go preview show to find out if you are the winner. Those are the rules. All right. So I have lost my interface again. So I'm actually going to pop over. Sith Lord is like, that yellow cover really stands out. It does indeed. Yep, it does indeed. Wilson is also talking about a great Jack Davis cover. So this is first appearance of Uncle Creepy, a Jack Davis cover, Frank Frazetta's last full-length comic strip. And this is from Warren Publishing, 1964. Really, really cool book. And it is a massive, massive book that someone will actually win. Definitely a cool book. I don't know if this one has been pressed, to be honest with you. Yeah, no, it has not been pressed unless it reverted just a little bit, but it's actually in pretty solid shape. So again, a really cool book that someone's gonna no, Chris Bigger. Everybody needs a Uncle Creepy. Everybody needs an Uncle Creepy. So Parker is asking a question around the best Bay Area shops. I don't know. It's I would need to know more. What do you mean by the best, right? What do you mean by the best? You mean the one with the best selection, the one with the best Silver Age, the one with the best new comics, the one with the best prices? Like, what specifically are you looking for? Are you looking for South Bay, East Bay? Are you looking for San Francisco, right? The Bay Area is a very large geographic area that is very diverse. And so that is a tough question to answer without some specificity there. So Harvey Abel can do without creepy, because no, you need creepy uncles. I'm telling you for certain. Let me see through scrolling through some of the comments here. But the yellow cover really stands out. I think I read that one again. So if there are topics and things that you guys want to talk about, throw it up in all caps. It will definitely help me see it a little bit. L. Smith says magazine size. I only have one magazine size slab, and that is Batman Damned #2. It's a 10.0. That's a really nice book, man. That's a really nice book. Congrats on that one for certain. And I think Tina says nice choice. I try. I tend to go shopping for the Go Collect books all at once because it actually cuts down on my shipping fees. So I try to find 4 really cool books from one supplier, and I buy them all at one time. And this is really cool. This is the last one from the bin that the Patreon members didn't select. This was D. I didn't show you this one because this one wasn't wrapped in one of those white bags, because it wouldn't fit in the white bag because it's so big. So if I had shown you that one, it just had like one wrap or so of bubble wrap, and you could see right through it. So let me scroll down through the comments here, see and get back down to the bottom here, see if you guys have asked any couple of questions here. Have I read Thor 4? I did read Thor 4, and I thought Thor 4 was good, man. There were a couple of surprises there with Sif and with Beta Ray Bill. Thor kind of acted out a little bit. It was a good issue. It was a good issue. I enjoyed it, but I'm gonna tell you the way that the issue ended, and I don't want to give it away for people that haven't read it, which is why I'm being a little cryptic, but the way that Thor 4 ended, I thought was really well done. It sets up issue number 5 big time. And I cannot wait to read issue number 5, because there's been this tease that's been out there, and now we got our first look at it, but we don't know anything because it was like one panel, and it was a powerful panel. But I'm looking forward to Thor 5. I spent some time. I started reading Superman Unchained, and I'm enjoying that, man. Wow, I started reading that about 3 hours ago, and I am enjoying Superman Unchained. I've been reading pretty much for like half the day, and a lot of really, really cool stuff. Do I think Jubilee is showing up for Shang-Chi? I don't know. I don't know enough about Shang-Chi, to be honest with you. I don't know much about that title at all, to be honest, man. I could not begin to speculate on that one at all. Jerry's asking about about Garage Con. So Garage Con could happen. There is something that I'm working on that is really, really big. And if I'm able to do it, it would have an impact on Garage Con. And I can't say more than that at the moment, because I say it because I haven't really brought in any additional new books in order to have a Garage Con to offer up people something new, right? But if the thing that I'm working on materializes, then it could provide me with what I need in order to be able to move forward with Garage Con #2. All right. Scrolling down through some of the names here. What did that say? Reggie something. What did that say? So Sully Two Kings is asking if I'm going to pick up another of the giant size X-Men. I am. I'm going to pick up the Giant Size Nightcrawler that's dropping on the 25th, which I think is, I think that's coming up. But yeah, I'll pick that one up on the 25th. That's when Giant Size Nightcrawler drops. And then I think after that, it will be Giant Size Magneto, which I'm really looking forward to. So I think that the Storm thing, the Jean Grey Emma Frost Giant Size was a little bit of a fluke. At least that's what I want to believe. Fingers crossed, because that was not good. As you say, Slowly Two Kings, it was a little bit of a debacle, I'm gonna tell you. So yeah, fingers crossed that the next one is actually pretty good. So scroll. Oh, Almighty Liger King talking about Cable. I picked up Cable #1. And yeah, man, there was a nod. There was a nod to the Space Knights, right? I've never really read ROM. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Never really read ROM. I have maybe 2 ROMs in my collection, but I've never really read one. And when I saw that Space Knight in Cable #1, I was like, that's interesting. That's what's really cool about what Jonathan Hickman and some of these other people are doing, is that they're pulling back these threads from history, and they're making them relevant again. And I think that that's really cool. I think it's really cool. It may actually spark people to read old ROM, right? Let me see. Scrolling down through the comments here. Scrolling down. My best surprise find. Dawn is asking me this question. So I've had many surprise finds in the wild, to be honest with you. Probably my most famous probably is the Ziploc bag Iron Man 55, right? So I picked up from a 7-Eleven on a deal that happened at like 10 o'clock at night. I picked up Amazing Spider-Man 300, a couple of Captain Marvel Thanos appearances, Iron Man 55 that was in a Ziploc bag, and just key after key after key. I picked up a nice stack of about just 10 solid keys, several of which were actually in Ziploc bags from a guy's living room that lived behind a 7-Eleven. So that was probably the best, one of the best finds for me. So scrolling down through the comments here, scrolling down, see what you guys are talking about. Sorry, lots of comments here. So a couple of people talking about the Loki thing here. So I don't know what to make of that, right? It seems like the enchantment that was placed on Mjolnir in Thor is changing. It's evolving in some way, shape, or form. And I don't know what to make of that, right? Because I think in some of the earlier issues of Thor, because I'm reading old Thor and I'm reading new Thor at the same time, so I may be mixing some of my facts, but it seems like Mjolnir was actually getting heavier for Thor. And I can't remember which one, because I'm reading like both at the same time. But it was, the hammer was getting heavier. And now Loki is able to pick up the hammer with the enchantment. There's something strange that's actually going on there. And I think that Donny Cates, man, Donny Cates is doing his thing. It's really impressive what Donny Cates is actually doing. I am loving the Thor stuff. I'm loving the Jason Aaron Thor from back in the day, the Thor God of Thunder. I'm really enjoying that stuff. So just a lot of really fantastic writing right now, So I don't know what to make of it, because I don't know. I'm not steeped in the lore of Thor and Loki, right, to really know all the details. So there's more that I need to learn. So scrolling down through the comments here, did I pick up Stealth #1 from Image, superhero who operates in Detroit? What? Adam, got to write that down. Let me write that down. Stealth #1, a Detroit-based superhero. Gotta write that one down. Shout out to my man Adam for that one. I have not heard about that one. I'm the guy that goes right to the front of the store and goes to my long box, and then I may glance in the direction of the DC books or the Image books, but mostly it's to my long box or my pull box, and then I look at the Marvel stuff, and then I'm out the store, or I'm running my mouth at the front counter with the guys that work there. So Adam, thank you for the heads up on that one. I may have to check that one out. Stealth #1 from my man Adam. All right, so scrolling down through the comments here. I see that there's a couple of questions here around comic shops in the Bay Area, and it looks like a couple of the folks that are in the Bay Area with me are able to answer those questions. So I'm going to defer to those guys. What I would also say is that if you look at any of my hunting videos, the hunting videos on the channel will give you a very good idea of what shops are out there, because in many cases in those videos, I actually identify the shops. But I typically hunt in East Bay and South Bay, right? So I don't know anything about shops in San Francisco proper. But if it's if it's on the peninsula, if it's in South Bay, if it's in East Bay, I have some idea, but as do the several other people that are here in the area that are from the Bay Area. So scrolling down through some of the comments here, scrolling down, I think I just reached the bottom. All right, I just reached the bottom. So maybe I don't know if I missed anything. Let me scroll up here. Steve says he was reading Strange Academy. I have not read Strange Academy. I've not read that one yet. I'm not a huge fan of Doctor Strange. Not a huge fan of that. But I also am not a huge fan of Thor. And then I started reading really good Thor, and I was like, oh, this is fantastic. So maybe if Strange Academy is the move, I might have to check that one out just a little bit. So, all right. So give you guys the rundown one more time before I get myself out of here. I have several videos that are dropping this week, Monday through Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. I'm going to be talking about the best third-party grading company. So we'll be talking about that. The thrill of the hunt, a poo-poo platter video, and revenge on those who made me feel stupid. Those are 4 of the videos that will be released from the channel this week. I will also be going live a few times this week, I do believe. I don't know what times. I definitely want to encourage you guys to turn on notifications so that you can stay abreast of all the content that I release. And I put up on the community tab details around how to tweak your notifications, because I have some people that are like, hey, Reggie, I don't know when you go live. And part of the reason why that is because the app has settings for notifications. And then your cell phone also has settings for notifications. And if your app allows for notifications, or your computer, right, you have it set up here, it will allow for notifications. The phone will actually trump what the app does. And so you definitely want to make sure that the app and the phone both allow for notifications so that you guys can check the content out. So I'm also releasing a podcast this week. Tomorrow at 7 a.m. I'll be releasing a podcast, and I think it's going to be Roll Call. I think Roll Call number 2 is what is scheduled to be released. But those are all of the videos that are going to be coming out. And I definitely want to encourage you guys to stay tuned to the videos that come out from the channel this week, because in one of those videos, we'll be giving away this book right here. This is Creepy #1, first appearance of Uncle Creepy. This is from Warren Publishing, 1964, a Frank Frazetta comic strip is in here, and a fantastic Jack Davis cover. Really, really nice comic right here from 1964, 7.0. And this book can be yours, all for just being a subscriber and for watching the various videos that come out from the channel over the course of this week. All right, with that, I'm going to wrap this up. And as I always say, if you guys need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at RegieCollects, or you can send me an email to Reggie@RegieCollects.com. No matter how you look for me, I am not too hard to find. Take care.